Coming in, the search operation has been halted for today as the bodies are yet to be retrieved. 68 bodies have been recovered as of now, retrieved from the spot. The search operations are on to also find the bodies of the other four, as the chances of survival of the other four also being extremely grim. The search operations have been halted as of now. Devesh Agarwal, Chief Analyst of BangaloreAviation.com, joining us on the broadcast as we break down details of what's happened in Nepal, the tragedy that has unfolded in Nepal. So Devesh Agarwal, thank you for joining us. There's been a lot of concern over the incident that has taken place, a lot of concerns that are also being raised on whether there was a security aspect to it, whether, there are challenges that have come in as we've been discussing through the day, weather challenges, the geographical challenges, or whether it is the safety protocol that's followed in the country. What do you think is the lesson that has been learned? What do you think the government is looking at as it orders a high-level probe to find out the cause of the crash?
Hi, thanks for having me. A couple of things, a little bit of information. This particular aircraft, believe it or not, had done an exact same flight earlier that morning. So this was like the second flight it was doing from Kathmandu to Pokhara. It had performed the flight around 8 o'clock in the morning to Pokhara, returned back to Kathmandu, and then was going back to Pokhara for another flight when this mishap has occurred.
Okay.
There are videos on, I think, YouTube that show the plane, kind of attempting to climb and stalling in the air, i.e. it has not... the plane must have been going very slow, and therefore what technical term is, the plane loses aerodynamic lift. Basically, the plane is not going fast enough for the wings to sustain the weight of the aircraft. And so it has sort of, turned over to its left and gone into the ground. So I'm very sure that authorities will be looking at this. As of now, from what it appears, I am little skeptical when somebody says, the security elements. It could be that, some weather, like a wind shear or something, has occurred at the very last minute and caught the pilots off guard, or the pilots have attempted to, kind of go around and the aircraft was not properly configured or whatever. But as I said, that is purely in the realm of speculation. It's actually something I don't like doing. And so we should wait for, the results of the investigation to come out. But what I have seen in the past with accidents in Nepal as well as in India is we never get to know the whole truth. And especially if you look at where if the responsibility, or even in part, need not be exclusively this thing, the truth when it comes to, if a government involvement is there. Like I take the example of the Air India crash at, the Air India Express crash at at Mangalore. There were elements where the airport was at fault, and that was never highlighted. It was just the pilot was tired, he woke up at the last minute, and he has tried to make a landing. Yes, that is true, but it is not the complete truth. So there is this tendency in this part of the world for a government board of inquiry to kind of, brush under the carpet the responsibility of their fellow,
systematic
government
failures on various fronts is something that we're looking at. But of course, a high-level probe would only be able to answer what was the exact cause of this crash. But because there have been similar incidents in the recent past, there's been an alarming frequency in the aviation disasters that have been reported from Nepal. That's the reason why it's a concern world over. Thank you so much for joining us with your expert view. Slipping into a short break here on that note. We'll be right back. Do stay with us.